Welcome back to our channel. Today, we will follow an extremely interesting journey, transforming a cliff into a unique and cozy house. This is not just an ordinary DIY project, but also a testament to human creativity and ingenuity when living in harmony with nature. Let's start with our guy and see how he did it. First, this young man chose a perfect location on the cliff. With a large compass made from wood and rope, he carefully drew a regular circle on the hard cliff. This was the first mark of his future home. The choice of a circle was not random, but because it symbolizes wholeness, a shape in harmony with nature, and very solid in structure, starting with a simple but creative idea. With a sturdy hammer in hand and unlimited patience, he proceeded to dig deep into the cliff, creating a spacious living space inside. Each layer of soil was dug up meticulously. Once the space was large enough, he began to design the interior. He cleverly dug a high, sturdy ledge to create a small bed right in the corner of the house. Once he had his bed, he immediately thought of a wood stove to keep him warm and cook. He started by digging a small hole inside the house to create the stove. It was a simple, yet extremely effective stove design. The wood stove not only served as a cooking stove, but also as a source of heat on cold nights. For the wood stove to work effectively, the young man needed to ensure that the smoke from the stove did not suffocate the living space. He sharpened one end of the wood to create a digging tool for himself. So he continued to dig a small pipe from the outside, leading straight to the wood stove. This was the chimney, helping to effectively direct the smoke outside. This chimney was not only a smart solution to vent the smoke, but also an interesting highlight for the small house. Not only stopping at cooking, he continued to create more shelves around the wall. He cleverly dug small niches on the wall, where he could put necessary items, such as books, small tools, or even handmade decorations. These shelves are not only convenient, but also help optimize space and add coziness to the house. Under the bed, he will also dig a cupboard to be able to store necessary things. He continued to meticulously cut small grooves in the wooden boards to fit them together into rectangular wooden molds. He used these wooden molds to mold the clay slabs used to make shelves and stove tops. He mixed water with clay and carefully poured the mixture into each mold. He leveled the surface until it was completely flat. He inserted small wooden sticks into the clay surface while it was still damp, creating small holes that helped the heat spread more evenly across the stove top. The chimney is an important part of the house, so he decided to invest more effort into it. He used small wooden sticks with their ends sharpened to create a frame for the chimney. Once he had shaped the chimney, he gradually built up the frame, layer by layer, creating the shape of the chimney. He not only wanted the chimney to perform its function well, but also wanted it to become an artistic highlight for the entire house. With this idea, he constantly paid attention to every small detail, from building the soil evenly and smoothly, to adjusting the shape so that the chimney was not only sturdy, but also beautiful. To increase the aesthetics, he also skillfully painted decorative bricks, making the chimney stand out like a work of art in the midst of a natural landscape. Once the clay slabs had dried and hardened, the young man began removing the unnecessary molds. He carefully placed the slab on the stove top, making sure it fit perfectly in place. To test the stove's reliability, he lit a fire immediately. The flames roared, warm and glowing, as if the stove was ready to serve any meal in the new home. He used charcoal to draw delicate lines around the chimney, giving it a sharp, artistic accent. The remaining slabs of clay would serve a special purpose, as tracks for the door of the storage cabinet under the bed. The young man skillfully chose to thin slabs of stone for the door, meticulously cutting the edges straight, creating perfect rectangles. Once the slabs were ready, he fitted them into the tracks precisely, so that the door could slide back and forth smoothly and easily. Finally, to ensure everything fit and was secure, he used stone and clay to seal the gaps, completing the cabinet with a harmonious combination of aesthetics and functionality. In the middle of the wild forest, lacking modern tools, the young man had to rely on his own skillful hands and creativity to do everything. Realizing that he needed a tool to sift clay and ash, he did not hesitate to make it himself from vines collected around the forest. With meticulousness, he wove them into a sturdy net, helping to sift clay and ash, removing impurities that were too large and rough. After being sifted, the ash would be carefully mixed with water and rolled into small lumps, then baked to create firmness. The type of clay he used was also carefully selected, going through a careful screening process to remove all unwanted impurities. Once he had both the burnt ash and the fine clay in hand, he began the process of mixing them together, adding water and kneading them thoroughly. This mixture, with the blending of the ingredients, gradually became smooth and supple, resembling cement, an extremely strong material. With this mixture, the young man began to evenly brush it over the entire surface of the house's walls, not only to increase its durability, but also to provide a delicate finish, making the house more durable against time and nature. Looking around the old forest, realizing that what was the most abundant resource, the young man decided to fully exploit this resource for his house. He started by splitting the tree trunks into thin, uniform-sized wooden panels. But instead of using them in the usual way, he came up with a unique idea. Each wooden panel would be carved with rectangular grooves, interwoven with each other like pieces in a puzzle. His ingenuity and meticulousness transformed the rough wooden panels into perfect pieces, ready to connect together to create a unique wooden picture. After finishing the pieces, he coated them with a layer of resin, which increases the durability of the wood, protecting it from termites and the harshness of time. The resin layer not only increases the durability, but also creates a smooth, glossy film that highlights the natural wood grain, making each piece of wood more vivid. The next step was to install the wooden panels on the surface of the house, a challenge that required absolute care and precision. He began to assemble the wooden pieces together. Piece by piece, the grooves were interwoven, tightly fitting together perfectly. The result was a smooth, seamless wooden surface without a single gap. This layer of wood was covered by him on the entire wall surface, creating a solid armor for the house. Not forgetting the ceiling, he reinforced it with small wooden stakes, firmly hammered into the surface, ensuring that the top of the house was as sturdy as the rest. With ingenuity and foresight, the young man transformed the lifeless tree trunks in the forest into a cozy, beautiful, and durable house, a living space that is truly in harmony with nature. In this part, he designed a table that can be folded up against the wall. When needed, just open and close it. Very convenient. The final step in the journey of building a house is to complete the door, and the young man wanted to create a truly unique and different design. He started by meticulously interlacing the wooden panels together, creating a solid and seamless door surface. To ensure stability, the wooden panels were fixed with small wooden posts, creating a solid and harmonious structure. But what makes this door special is the small window with a rotating shaft that he cleverly installed. This window not only increases the aesthetics, but also brings convenience when it is easy to open and close with just a slight turn. Once the door frame was complete, the young man carefully measured, drew, and trimmed away any excess to ensure the door fit snugly against the house frame. No detail was overlooked. Everything had to be perfect. He gently slid the door into place, using wooden stakes to secure it, and then trimmed away any excess until everything was perfect. This door is not only a normal entrance, but also a work of art. He continued to join the wooden panels together, forming a solid and seamless door surface. In particular, a pivot is placed in the middle of the door, allowing it to swing back and forth easily, providing a unique opening and closing mechanism never seen before. This design not only makes the house more impressive, but also clearly shows the young man's creativity and talent, turning the door into a central highlight, a stylish welcome to anyone entering this cozy house. A beautiful house cannot be without an impressive walkway, and the young man understood that it was necessary to create a walkway that was both convenient and in harmony with the overall uniqueness of his house. He took advantage of the remaining wooden panels, carefully marking and cutting each detail and measuring precisely to ensure the shape of each piece would fit perfectly together. Once all the pieces of wood were prepared, the young man started to assemble them together. Each piece of wood was tightly connected with small wooden sticks, creating a solid and sturdy structure for the ladder. But the highlight of this ladder lies in its smart design. It is not just a regular fixed ladder, but it can be opened when needed and easily folded neatly when not in use. This not only saves space, but also brings maximum convenience and flexibility, extremely suitable for the small space of the house on the cliff. So, finally, after many days of hard work, he completed his first house located halfway up the cliff, with an extremely unique, comfortable, and cozy design. The house is a symbol of harmony with nature, a simple but complete living space where life in the mountains and forest becomes truly peaceful and beautiful. Not only a place to live, this house is also a testament to the young man's perseverance, creativity, and desire for freedom, a dream living space in the heart of wild nature.